Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome back to the annual yatra here in Jagannath Puri and Mayapur, this year Calcutta. I didn't know who's coming this year, partly deliberately, so I'd be surprised when I saw everyone. And it's such a pleasure to see you all. But to speak of being in the Dham, just seeing the devotees is actually the most joyous of occasions. This is like the all-star team collecting here from all over the world. And we have some time together over the next few days, over the next couple weeks, to be absorbed in the mood of the Dham and to hear each day without any interruption. So we'll start off asking for the blessings of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan by singing the Shad Goswami Ashtakam by Srinivasacharya. I believe it's on page 73. And if I'm not incorrect. And also, if you'd like, you can move up. This song, Srila Prabhupada said, was an elixir that you could sing every day, and by singing these prayers glorifying the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, naturally the qualities of the Goswamis would develop within the hearts of the singers. And as it is said in our Shastra, one can't approach the spiritual world and Lord Chaitanya unless one gets the mercy of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Amazingly, the great acharyas like Srinivasacharya wrote these bhajans which condense all the knowledge in several verses. Gain. Here he comes. Ramananda's coming. He's running. So this song starts off talking about how the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan Hare Krishna. Yeah, please do. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We were over at the Haridas Thakur's Samadhi yesterday, and we were there for Artik. And for the Artik ceremony, the devotees came out, the residents there, and they began, they were playing their drums and a lot of kartals and a lot of gongs. And as we were standing there and they were singing, we couldn't hear the singing for the gongs, but the vibration was tumultuous and it carried us away. We felt fully absorbed just being in that holy place. And the songs of the Goswamis changed the hearts of people everywhere. We say sometimes that you have to have a song in your heart. Everyone has some song in their heart. It's just the quality of song. So the Goswamis brought to us the most important songs, in fact the songs of the spiritual world. And if those get stuck in your heart, then it actually lifts you above the three modes of material nature. So the six Goswamis of Vrindavan were expert at lifting everybody by chanting and dancing. And the gentle and the ruffians were affected. And then they spent time putting together all the shastras in such a way that there would be a clear path to follow tat tat karma pravartanat, all the activities everyone would know for many generations. About 20 years ago, I was in the San Francisco airport and I met a man from Taiwan. And he bought a nectar of instruction and put it in his bag and walked off and caught his flight. And as he left, I was wondering if Rupa Goswami had envisioned, when he was sitting at Terakadamba writing, that someone would, from Taiwan, would speak of getting on a jet, would have his book in his bag. But he must have seen that there was a necessity, because it's a condensed version of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and of the Nectar of Devotion, like a guidebook. The Goswamis went to great lengths to write extensively and also to write manuals for devotional service that everyone could follow it and become perfect in this lifetime, no matter where they're starting from. And then he writes about how they distributed the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because they were so intimately related with him, and they purified everyone, giving them the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he speaks about how after seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu they became renounced. Tekva turnam ashesha mandalapati shrenim sadatu chavat. This is the most amazing thing that can happen to someone, is to come in contact with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or his movement and then be carried away and not care anything for the illusory material world. Most people are thoroughly engrossed or entranced by the material energy. But the Goswamis of Vrindavan, after seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just left everything. Back in about 1974, I went to visit San Diego. There were some sannyasis down there, and they were having a kirtan up the second floor, Mangal Artik. And I remember just feeling that there's no better place anywhere in the universe to be but here, chanting with these devotees. And this is the feeling that a fortunate person gets when wandering throughout the universe, to come in contact with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees or see the devotees and then feel that I don't want to be anywhere else except with the devotees. And then he writes about Vrindavan, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa and Sanatan to go to Vrindavan and excavate the holy places and also write literatures And there, the opulence of Vrindavan, it's a simple opulence. The desire trees, the birds, the sweetness of Vrindavan is described and how they live there. And then how they counted all the practices of devotional service. Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Nitabi. This is something many people say, oh, I chant all the time, what do I need to count for? But actually, this, if one's not counting, then one's not serious. The Goswamis made this really clear. Sankhya Purvaka Nama, Gana Natibi. They counted everything to show the example that you can't trust your mind. You have to be steadily devoted to the process. And then Radhakunda Tate Kalinda Tanaya. They wandered throughout Vrindavan. Imagine how it was so pristine at that time. Even now you can find some places where you can glimpse the pristine nature of Vrindavan. Even in 1973, 74, 75, when we used to go there, there were not rickshaws, only bicycle rickshaws, and the forest was much more prominent. The Jamuna was crystal clear. You could swim there. But what to speak of 500 years ago? You can see some pictures of the Badan Mahan temple. It's the only thing there for miles. What to speak of forests? How beautiful it was. And there they were absorbed in the mood of separation from Radha and Krishna. He Radhe Vrajadevike Chalalite. He Nanda Suna Kutaha. This description by Srinivasacharya of how they wandered everywhere, calling out, where are you now? Prabhupada said it's not that they were seeing Radha and Krishna, but they were always searching for them in the mood of separation. Of course, they were seeing and not seeing. They were seeing in the unmanifest form of the Lord, who's not manifest to ordinary eyes, but they had that intense feeling of separation from Radha and Krishna. So compact within this ashtakam are the teachings of the Goswamis, and also their mercy in describing the Goswamis and listening to the description in the Sanskrit. Then we actually will feel enlivened by that. So it's recommended as a regular daily function to sing this ashtakam. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro, all together. Premamritambo Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Nirmansaro Pujito Shri Chaitanya Kripabaro Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Kaivalya Nishtarako Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanya Karo Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Shri Gauranga Gunarnuvarna Navido Shraddha Samyadyanvito Papo Tapanikrinthano Tanubritam Govinda Amritai Nandam Buddhi Vardanaika Nipuno Kaivalya Nishtarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Tyaktva Turnama Sheshamandalapati Shrenim Sadatu Chavat Tina Ganesha Ko Karunaya Kaupina Kanta Shrito Gopi Bhavara Samritabdi Lahari Kalola Magno Mohu Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Kujat Kokila Hangsa Sarasagana Kirni Mayura Kule Nana Ratna Dana Lavitapa Shri Yukta Vrindavane Radha Krishna Harnisham Prabhajato Jivarta Doyo Mura Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Namagana Natibi Kalavasani Krito Hara Vihara Kari Vijito Chatyanta Chayo Radha Krishna Gunasmitir Madhurima Nandena Ma Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Kalinditanaya Vam Shivate Premon Madhavashada Sheshadashaya Grasto Pramato Sada Gayanto Chakadaharir Gunavaram Bhava Vibhuto Mudha Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Hey Radhe Vrajadevake Chalalite Hey Nanda Suno Kuta Vardhana Kalpa Pada Patale Kalindi Vanye Kutaha Goshanta Viti Sarvato Vrajapure Keder Mahavivalo Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako
Bate Muchayate dasha kriti krite Krishnaya tubhyam namah. Feel better? Yes, because it's our nature to feel better and to feel right. But that requires proper alignment. And alignment should be with that which is sacred. And especially when we're in the material world, and especially when we're on this planet, the best kind of alignment is alignment with sacred sacrifice. And this is the great treasure of life. If one can find out how to stay aligned with sacred sacrifice, as Lord Rishabhadeva says, Tapo divyam putra ke yena sattvam shudyad yasmad brahma saukyam tunantam, then one can experience unlimited happiness. And the secret is there given by the Goswamis. It's in the songs. They're actually, the secrets are in the songs, and the songs are what attracts the living beings, especially humans. They like not just rhythm, but sensible lyrics, and lyrics that are pregnant with meaning. And so when you get the combination of that coming from the spiritual world, then you've got the best kind of sacrifice. And we find in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that when Maharaj Prataparudra this happened right here in Jagannath Puri. Maharaj Prataparudra, the great king of Puri, had wanted to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, in his Acharya Leela, was showing that a sannyasi should not associate with a materialistic person. And the name king is associated very specifically with materialistic person, because a king is involved in politics. Of course, so are temple presidents, right? In pounds, shillings, and pence, as Prabhupada used to say, worried about the material world and connected, oftentimes living very opulently, even having, concubines, so far. And so Mahaprabhu, when he heard about Maharaj Prataparudra, that Maharaj Prataparudra wanted to meet him, he said, "Oh, this is horrible." And he quoted a verse which mentions that associating with a materialistic person is as good as drinking poison, especially for a renunciate. But he heard from several devotees, first from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and then he heard from Ramananda Roy. And he was giving little indications, for instance, when he heard from Ramananda Roy that Maharaj Prataparudra was a pure devotee and that he wanted to meet him. And Ramananda Roy actually suggested it, knowing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was averse. But this had an effect on Mahaprabhu. But what had the biggest effect was when Maharaj Prataparudra came out and swept in front of the Rath Yatra car. And this, Prabhupada points out, was menial service. Of course, it was a big deal for a king to do that. And this is what attracted the attention of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when the stage was set, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was at the Rath Yatra dancing, and he took time to rest in one of the gardens nearby the Gudicha temple. Of course, those are harder to find nowadays. We went to look for the Jagannath Ballabh gardens because we thought we were going to go there, but who was it who sang that song so many years ago? Huh? Yeah, Joni Mitchell. They take paradise and put up a parking lot. It's literally what they did. Put up a parking lot, paradise was gone. But in those gardens, you can imagine a time 500 years ago, how this looked here in Jagannath Puri. And Mahaprabhu visited various gardens at that time, and there he took them as Vrindavan. And he performed the pastimes of Vrindavan there. That is, from his side, feeling separation from the Lord, and that would be especially evoked by the songs of his associates. But one day when Mahaprabhu was resting, after dancing and having kirtan, there was an arrangement made so Maharaj Prataparudra could come and serve the Lord. And he put on regular dress. He took off the king's garments and he put on regular clothes. I'm not sure what those would look like. But they were something that a common person would wear, not a king. And then he came to the garden where Mahaprabhu was resting, and there he began to massage the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, it's mentioned by Kaviraj Goswami that Mahaprabhu knew everything, because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishani chabhutani mamtu vedana kaschana. Basically, I know everything, and I know everybody. So he's omniscient, but in this pastime, he didn't show that he knew the king, and Prataparudra Maharaj was massaging his feet, and then he sang a verse from the Gita Govinda, from the Gopi Gita, in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which begins Tava Katam Ritam Tatta Jivanam. And when Mahaprabhu heard this verse, he sat up and he actually said, "You've given me the greatest of gems. It's invaluable gems you've given me." And he embraced the king and gave him his full mercy. And in just a minute, I'm going to read the paragraph, or the purport, in which Prabhupada describes this. Not the whole pastime, but he says a few things that will be very encouraging to all of us regarding getting the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But before we do that, I just want to hear from a few of you what brought you here. What was the main reason that you decided to come? Just give us the sutra. And perhaps we have, I'm sure we do, unless things are going poorly tonight, an extra microphone. So what was it that brought you? We have Hansapriya, and Javi, did you raise your hand also? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I realized from the last few yatras that devotees, those who have attended it, and when they came back, and of course we watched Facebook online, and realized this, if I needed to know the Lord, I can only come to know through this yatra and the association of the devotees. So that was my reason to be here today.
Thank you very much. Javi Prabhu, he's come back several years in a row.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Well, the association of devotees is our life and soul, and we want to be in that association. And of course, you are the center of this association, and inevitably, I am personally very much attracted to be wherever you are if I can.
Lucky for me in Kochira Koso. Hare Krishna. Oh, Rajendra Nanda Prabhu, welcome back. We're so happy to have you here in Jagannath Puri.
Haribo!
Hare Krishna.
I'm so grateful to be able to hear from you, from Madhavananda Prabhu, to be in Jagannath Puri, where the first time I came, really the Siddhanta Mahaprabhu's Bhav opening up here, the separation and Luda Radha here in Puri. These things are priceless, and I'm so glad to be here. That's what brought me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Kameshwari.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, the main reason, of course, I wanted to be in Yatra, And I remember when Yatra was done first time, IS Yatra in Puri, and when you came back, you taught us Gauranga Karuna Kuru, and that was the most beautiful song I ever heard. And you were mentioning that Madhavananda Prabhu has actually brought it to us, and it was very sweet. It was very sweet the way you explained, and I really liked that song, and I wanted to hear it, and especially here in this dham, because the way you explained, I really felt attracted. And there are several reasons, but one more thing I wanted to mention is that my mom really wanted to see Lord Jagannath for many, many years. This is first time she's ever come to Jagannath Puri, and she would have come anyway, but being in the midst of devotees and then seeing the Lord through the eyes of devotees is very special. That's why I really I'm very grateful to you for allowing them here in the midst of devotees.
Kameshwari, you just proved that point about the song. I was talking earlier about having a song in your heart, and how a spiritual song that came from the spiritual world can actually carry you to the spiritual world. Now just see how Madhavananda Prabhu gave us that song, and the mood in which he gave it to us, it was transferable. So, welcome to Satyadev Prabhu. Hare Krishna. When we brought it to the United States, it was not only in its original form, but it even had more feeling to it because of the setting. Because we had brought it from the Dham, heard it from Madhavananda, who swims in that song, and then we got it, we brought it back, and now see it carried you back here. This is true because the spiritual songs actually are what take us back to the spiritual world. And this is the main technique that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. He taught that the spiritual song, when you sing it and you become attached to it, it actually enters your heart. And then it changes your heart and changes your direction in life. And it has a life of its own because it's Krishna. There's no difference between the song and Krishna itself. So we can actually fly on that song. It will carry us literally back to the spiritual world. And that's what's happened. You've been brought here, and you brought others with you because of the song of Madhavananda Prabhu bringing it to us from Narottam Das Thakur. Thank you very much. Two more. Divyanam Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Bringing it all the way from the UK.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
A couple of reasons, Maharaj. One, of course, to come and take your association and hear from you and other Vaishnavas is very inspiring. And secondly, my personal experience of coming to the Yatra is that it's something which keeps us going back where we are, actually. Because the Yatra really gives us so much of nourishment, such memories, such experience, and that taste which helps us to actually practice it when we go back and then share it with others. Thank you.
Yeah, I like the way you put that, and it reminded me, I spent time in Govardhan for Kartik, and one of my friends there, I remember he'd always ask, he would spend time there also and do parikram, Govardhan, and he always count up the end. And I remember he'd talk about, that was Aishwarya Prabhu. We call him Aish, or Vanilla Aish back then. But he would say, I remember he'd always say, yeah, I get in 5 Govardhans. I did, so many rounds and so many. He wouldn't say exactly how many rounds, but he would say how many Govardhans. He would say it like that. I did 5 Govardhans and things. And I was. This is something you can relate to in the paragraph I'm going to read you, where Prabhupada talks about how the process of devotional service is cumulative, and there's a way in which when we come to the Dham, although we may not have a full experience when we come here to see the Dham in its full splendor, we may pick up little molecules here and there that are something that really moves us for no apparent reason, that we feel that something was just ecstatic, but we don't even know why. And that stays with us. And we actually develop a relationship with the Dham because of that over time when we come here and visit on a regular basis. And that will come to bear in our practice of devotional service in many different ways. Okay, yes. Amla Purana.
My experience every time I come to the Dham, and especially to this yatra with all the wonderful devotees here, is that it pulls me out of my complacency in my spiritual practice, and that's the main reason I came out here, to get that taste again.
Yeah, and that's one of the ways to get through life. You can fall into complacency at any time, and then if you've figured out a way to get out of it, you just keep doing that until, like sometimes you see these races at the Olympics or something like that, and somebody, get heat stroke, or their muscles don't, Satyadeva could tell you all about it, something to do with not enough minerals to the muscles or something like that. Heat exhaustion. Yeah, they're running along, and I've seen, like they'll fall down on the footpath on the racing track, but then somehow or other, like, they get back up again, but then they're like just hobbling along, and then somehow or other they pull over the finish line, and and to all the spectators all over the world watching it, that's like the most heroic of all. The strong ones who ran across an hour ago, everyone goes like, great, great, great. But the one who fell down on the path and then, picks himself up, and somehow or other, like everyone can see, he's like wounded, he's barely alive, and somehow or other he struggles and he makes it across the line. That everyone's like, ah! And that's what makes that's what goes viral. And so, we have to do that too. Somehow or other, bite, scratch, kick, whatever you have to do, but somehow stay on the track and get yourself back upright and keep moving your feet, move along. And that's one of the ways to attract Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. This is the system in the material world, somehow or other. Now I want to read a part, because I promised you I was going to read you something from the Chaitanya Charitamrita that I guarantee will give you great, not just insight, but also joy. And you tell me if this lives up to that. So I mentioned how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard from Maharaj Prataparuja a famous verse from the Gopi Gita. And the verse sings, Tava katam ritam tapta jivanam kavirbiritam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam Srimaratatam bhuvi granantiye buddhidajana. So the translation is, and this is the gopis, the nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations, transmitted by learned sages, eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. And this is the purport that I was so taken with recently when reading this chapter, and it's from Madhya Lila, chapter 14, text number 16. And the verse says, E dekho Chaitanyara kripa mahabalo tar anusandhana bina karai sapal. How powerful is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Without even inquiring about the king, the Lord made everything successful. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is so powerful that it acts automatically. If a person renders loving service to Krishna, it never goes in vain. It is recorded in a spiritual account, and in due time it will fructify. This is confirmed by Bhagavad Gita 2:40. Neha bikramanashosti pratyavayo navidyate slopamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has particularly bestowed upon all fallen souls in this age the most potent method of devotional service, Samkirtan, the congregational chanting of the Lord's holy name. And whoever takes to it through the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is immediately elevated to the transcendental position. As Srimad Bhagavatam 11.532 recommends, Yagnai Sankirtana Prayar Yajantihi Sumedasa. A student of Krishna consciousness must receive Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Then his devotional service will quickly succeed. This was the case with King Prataparudra. One has to be noticed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and a little service with sincere efforts will convince the Lord that one is a proper candidate for returning home, back to Godhead. Thank you. I'll pay you later. At first, Maharaj Prataparudra did not have a chance to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but when the Lord saw that the king was serving Lord Jagannath as a menial sweeper, the Lord's mercy upon the king became a solid fact. What did it become? A solid fact. When Maharaj Prataparudra, in the dress of a Vaishnav, was serving the Lord did not even inquire who he was. Rather, he had compassion upon him and embraced him. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami wants to put out that nothing could compare to the Lord's mercy toward Maharaj Prataparudra. Therefore, he uses the word Deko, just see, and Chaitanyara Kripa Mahabalo. How powerful is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? This is also confirmed by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Yat karunya kataksha vaibhavatam. Even a little of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy serves as a great asset for spiritual advancement. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement must be spread through the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Rupa Goswami experienced the mercy and magnanimity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaur Tvishe Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is more magnanimous than any other avatar, even Krishna himself, because he is bestowing freely what no one else has ever given, pure love of Krishna. Srila Lochan Das Thakur has also sung Parama Karuna Pahun Dwijana Nitai Gaurachandra. The two brothers, Nitai and Gora, are so kind that no one can compare to them. Similarly, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung Vrajendra Nandana Jay, Shati Shuta Hoilo Se, Balaram Hoilo Nitai, Dina Hina Jata Chilo Hari Nama Udarilo, Tara Sakshi Jagai Madhai. Just to deliver the sinful persons of this age by propagating the chanting of the holy name, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram have advented as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Jagai and Madhai are evidence of their success. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special mission is the deliverance of all fallen souls in Kali Yuga. Devotees of Krishna must persistently seek the favor of and mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to become fit to return home back to Godhead. And here are just a couple quick notes of those regarding the verse Tavakatamritam, which is the verse that induced Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to stand up and embrace the king. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in regard to the verse, your speech is nectar. It gives life to the people who are burned by samsara and the greatest diseases, tapta jivanam. Kavibir Idatam means your name and fame are glorified by devotees like Dhruva and Prahlad. It destroys the effects of all sin up to prarabdha karmas. It's the most auspicious because one becomes attracted to the ultimate goal. I've found that particularly profound, is that by hearing the topics about Krishna, one becomes attracted to the ultimate goal. And this is the problem in an unregulated environment. People don't know what the goal is, what to speak of how to get attracted to it. They're attracted to many things. Bahushaka hyanantascha, bahuda vyavasayinam. But all of those things are splaying them out in various ways. So hearing Krishna Katha in the association of devotees, it makes one attracted to the ultimate goal of life. And this is very powerful. Yes, Prabhu? Oh, sure. Well, the verse number actually is 10:31:9, but you won't find the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary there. Yeah. Yes. And then finally, Sanatana Goswami says, in regards to this verse, are you ready? Yes. Sanatana Goswami. There is no effort required for understanding Krishna Katha. The meaning manifests by its own power, not through qualification. There is no effort required for understanding Krishna Katha. The meaning manifests by its own power, not through qualification. There is no dependence even on understanding the meaning. Hearing itself is auspicious. So this is especially helpful because this indicates the mode of hearing. And Prabhupada said that when he would come and hear his spiritual master, he didn't necessarily understand everything he was saying, but he was attracted and he stayed and heard. And from that, everything else becomes manifest in one's life. Prabhupada writes elsewhere that all the spiritual paraphernalia necessary for one to advance to the highest goal will be manifest by submissively hearing Krishna Katha. So then, to reiterate, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, upon hearing this verse recited by the king, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You have given me invaluable gems, but I have nothing to give you in return. Therefore, I am simply embracing you." So this verse talks about Lord Chaitanya's mercy, and here are its 4 characteristics. 1 is that it acts automatically. 2 is that it never goes in vain. 3 is it's recorded in a spiritual account. And 4, it will fructify in due time. Madhuripura likes that. Therefore, and this is still from the purport, essential points, a student must receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. 2, one has to be noticed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So get yourself noticed. 3, persistently seek the favor and mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And 4, become the servant of the servant, as this is the highest benediction, Prabhupada writes. And finally, a little service with sincere efforts will convince the Lord that one is a proper candidate for returning home back to Godhead. That sounds like within the realm of human possibility, doesn't it? A little sincere service. And, then to reiterate this point that I emphasized by repeating it, when one gets the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then one's attraction for and practice of devotional service becomes a solid fact. A solid fact. So that's what we're here for, really, is to hear Krishna Katha in this rarefied atmosphere of the Dham, where we can bring our attention to the places where the Lord performed his pastimes. And our ultimate goal is to bring ourselves to this position of devotional service that is a solid fact. And we'll know it for sure when it is. And everybody else will too. And to get to this point, we also are eager to hear about the various means through maneuvering through the Dham we can best take advantage of our time here. So, as one of our guides through the Dham here in Jagannath Puri, I'd like to introduce to you, those who you don't know, Madhavananda Prabhu, who is a recipient of the mercy of his spiritual master, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, who is a Dham Basi, and whose knowledge about Chaitanya Leela, Krishna Leela, was unfathomable, and Madhavananda Prabhu was a sincere servitor who imbibed from his guru the same mood and method of worshiping the Lord here in the Dham. So we're very fortunate to have him, and I'd like to ask him to come up here and for the last 20 minutes give some framework that we can work here in the Dham. If you'll please, well, we all welcome ourselves here. Welcome everybody. But now we have to welcome Madhavananda Prabhu, which is odd because this is his hometown. But anyway, let's welcome Madhavananda Prabhu to come up here and guide. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
I'd like to just begin with a couple of prayers for some auspiciousness and a few thoughts. Gora Graganya Gana Gota Golodu Haram Goranga Gudatama Gopyada Kopa Briksham Gopala Gada Ratidam Yati Singha Gora Govinda Deshi Kavaram Satatam Namami Uttama Adama Kichuna Bachi Jachi Adile Kokola Kahe Premananda Hemona Gauranga Hridoya Dariya Bola Bhaja Gauranga Kaha Gauranga Laha Gaurangera Namare Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje Se Hoy Amara Pranare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Yasyaiva Padambuja Bhakti Labhya Prema Bhidana Parama Pumarta Tasmai Jagan Mangala Mangalaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Mudgavirapi Gopala Srikuryat Kripaya Jodi Tadaiva Sambhaya Pitva Rishayustat Priya Janaha Shri Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Sasanatana Rupaka Gopala Raghunathabda Brajabala Bapahi Vanchakalpatarubhischa Kripasindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I want to thank very much Vaisheshika Prabhu just for being yourself, for being wonderful, and for all the devotees here, and for letting us to take part a little something in this yatra. And I'd like to suggest to everyone a few thoughts to help us to frame what we're going to do, what we're going to enter into. When we begin something in Vedic culture, we first begin with a ceremony, sankalpa ceremony. Sankalpa means like a statement of purposes. Why I'm here, what I want to do, what do I want to accomplish, what is this place? We need to think about that. Because as Burijan Prabhu says, sometimes we're here, and most of you I think just flew in the last day or two, and while our body may be here, our minds many times are still back in San Jose or in Toronto or wherever it is that we came from. Our body got here ahead of our mind. Whereas traditionally in parikramas, when people walk, sometimes they walk for weeks or even months to come to the Dham, their mind is already at the Dham before their body arrives. So we have just the opposite. So we need to do something. We need to contemplate what it is, that why we're here, what we want to accomplish. There's three different ways, three different types of vision that we can have of the Dham. These are called Drishyaman, Shabda, and Aprakat. Drishyaman means the common sensory perception. And we come and it's crowded, it's dirty, it smells bad, and there's a lot of noise. And that's all that we see. So how can we go beyond that? Srila Prabhupada says that you see Vrindavan with your ears. And that's Shabda Darshan. It's described in the Bhagavatam 3.9.11 that Shutekshita Pato, that this is a pata, the path of seeing with the ears. We want to see this Dham through the ear. And therefore Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wrote 2 different articles, which he published in Sajjana Toshini. I remember when I first found these articles, I got very excited. One is called Navarit Mandala Parikrama, and the other is Braj Mandala Parikrama. And I thought, wow, this is great. I'm going to read this and I'm going to find out about some very little known places and some little known things. And I was very surprised the articles with titles like that didn't say anything about any place in the Dham at all. All that he spoke about was the mood to enter into the Dham. And he said when we come to the Dham, we should come with Gurudev, we should come with advanced Vaishnavas. And he said don't try to see the Dham with your eyes, rather we should look to that personality. Here in Jagannath Puri, everyone likes very much to recite Jagannath Ashtakam. The first verse is Kachit kalindi tatavipina sangita karavo Mudabiri narivadana kamalasvada madupa Rama Shambhu Brahma Madapati Ganesha Chitapado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. It's nice sometimes we recite a verse and look and see how many devotees know that. I counted 3. That's nice. So this verse describes how Jagannath Puri is like Vrindavan. And how Jagannath, he's always making a concert on the bank of the Jamuna, and he's thinking about the Braj Gopis. And Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. We want to see that Jagannath Swami. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, I'm told, I heard this from someone, I haven't actually found this reference, but I'm told that he said this is not our prayer, or somebody understood it in the statement in that way. I was a little taken aback because our Gaudiya Vaishnavas like this song very much, these prayers, but it was explained that our desire is not that we want to come and see the Lord, rather we want to do service. And Srila Prabhupada in one purport, he says that the resolute determination to execute the order of the spiritual master is tantamount, is the same thing to having darshan of the Lord. So if Krishna comes before us, he suddenly appears, yeah, you've been chanting japa, you did some good rounds today, here I am. What do you want? What are we going to do? I think about that sometimes. What am I going to say to him? How's the weather in Vrindavan? How are those gopis? Or what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What do we want from that darshan? We want service to the Lord. Suraseva Vasarado. The Jagannath Ashtakam describes that here in Jagannath Puri, Lord Jagannath is appearing particularly to give service to saintly persons. We started a program a few months ago we call the Jagannath Puri Harinam Seva Sangha. And we've been trying to go out every day for an hour or so, doing Harinam around different parts of Puri. And there's one area we go near our ashram in Chakratirtha, and there's a very famous temple there. It has a big sign from the government outside, Sonar Gauranga, a very unique temple of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. It's the only temple of Gauranga Mahaprabhu that I know of in the entire universe that doesn't allow Westerners inside. It's a very, very strange kind of thing. We stand outside the door and we sing, Uttama Adama Kichuna Bachi, that Mahaprabhu doesn't consider who's fallen, who's liberated. He embraces everybody. And we go to some other temples in the same area there where they allow us. And the devotees, I can sense maybe they feel a little sad at the time. And I tell them, so what would you do if you can go inside? Sometimes we go to Russia and Ukraine, and we spoke to some of the devotees there, and one of them made a comment that really struck me once. He said, during the Soviet era, we used to always lament, if we could just go on Harinam, if we could just distribute books on the street, everything would be so nice. And they were all hankering like that. And he said, then Gorbachev came and Glasnost, and now we can go out on the street, we can do Harinam, we can do book distribution. But nobody wants to go. We're all too busy. We have other things going on. So what's the value of just being allowed to go inside? I can go inside and stand there. But darshan, but coming to the Dham doesn't mean I'm coming here for my sensory pleasure. That's drishyaman darshan, seeing something external. We want to come because we want to render service. But how can we understand service? Seva begins, Navavidhi Bhakti begins with Shravan, with hearing. And from hearing, then we understand more things. So that's 3 types of darshan: Drishyaman, Seva, and Aprakat. Aprakat means that when we actually come to the point we see the real Dham. There's a story they tell in Vrindavan. Once there was a very powerful and wealthy Vedic king who came to Vrindavan to see Srila Sanatana Goswami. And he came to them. Sanatana Goswami was sitting and doing his bhajan on the bank of the Jamuna. And that king, he said, Maharaj, it's your lucky day. Here I am. I'd like to give a big donation to the Hare Krishna movement. And what can I do? And Sanatana Goswami could understand the pride that this king had. And he pointed out a brick there next to the Jamuna. There's some steps going down. There was one brick that had a crack in it. And he said, maybe you could fix this brick? The king is a fabulously wealthy person. He felt a little offended. And then he looked at the brick. And Sanatana Goswami, by his mercy, he gave him a prakat darshan of the Dham. And he saw that one brick was made out of the most fantastic gems. He didn't have enough wealth in his entire treasury to make one brick. So we want to enter into the Dham in that way. We may ask another question. What is the necessity in coming in such a large group? Okay, I'd like to hear from Vaisheshika, but it'd be much better if I just came with him alone. Somehow or other, if I could just come with just a couple persons. It's much, much easier when you go places. You don't have to wait in the line for the bathroom. There's no crowding or anything. Everybody's on time. There's no anxiety for that. What is the necessity in having so many persons? You may ask a similar question in the Bhagavatam, in the description of the Krishna's Vastraharana Leela, when he stole the clothes of the gopis. The gopis, they were doing puja to Katyayani Devi, and Jiva Goswami describes that one day they all met together there on the bank of the Jamuna, and each one of these girls had an individual purpose. They didn't know the other girls were going there. And they all just, by fortune, arrived at the same moment. And they looked at each other and they said, why are you here? And they said, why are you here? And he said, well, and it turned out that everybody was there for the same purpose. They wanted to worship Katyayani Devi to get Krishna. So then a discussion came. The first question was, how should we do this? Should we do this individually? Should we have 16,000 little different pujas going on? Or should we do this collectively? And the gopis of Braj decided they should do it collectively. Why? Because there's more strength in a unified group appeal. So we come to this Dham to to enter into the Dham, and also to come together as a group. In Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he sings about this. Gora Amara Jai Sabastani Koralo Brahmana Range Se Sabastana Heribo Ami Pranai Bhakata Sange. Gora Amara, my Goranga, Gora Amara Jai Sabastani. I want to go to those places where my Goranga, because I have this feeling he's the only person for me, because he's the only person who's so merciful. I want to go. Gora Amara Jai Sabastani Korala Brahmana Range. Brahmana means where he wandered about. And Ranga, with great, like a festival happiness, I want to go to that, to those places. But how am I going to do it? Se Sabastani Heribo Angi Pranayi Bhakata Sange. I have to go in the association of like-minded devotees, because then the door is open. There's a nice commentary by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the 4th canto of the Bhagavatam, where he raises a question, what is the happiness? Where is the happiness in bhakti? And you might be very surprised to hear, he says the happiness is not in the holy name. Happiness is not in Krishna Katha. He says happiness is in the holy name and Krishna Katha when we do them in association with like-minded devotees. Then there's great happiness in those activities. And we've come here for that purpose. We want to experience some happiness. In the Beda Kirtan pastimes, Madhya Lila chapter 11 of Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a nice description of Maharaj Prataparudra on the roof of his palace. And he's speaking with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and he asked him, I want to see the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please tell me who's who. And so all the devotees are coming, and he's saying, this is Advaita Acharya, this is Srivas Thakur, this is this one, that one. And Maharaj Prataparudra, who's the Gajapati, the king of Puri, he became a little confused. He's watching, he said, what are they doing? Because he knows all the rules and regulations very well. And when you come to the Dham, you're supposed to shave your head. That's the first thing that you do. Traditionally, even many ladies, they shave their head. You're supposed to go and take bath in the ocean. There's 5 different tirthas. You take bath here in Puri. And then after you shaved your head, after you've taken bath, then you go for darshan of Lord Jagannath. And then you take Jagannath Mahaprasad in that order. He said, but these guys, they've got it all wrong. They're not taking bath. They're not going for darshan of Lord Jagannath. They're running to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's giving them Jagannath Prasad before they've even had darshan of Lord Jagannath. At that time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained to him, they're a little different. Srila Prabhupada put this in a very nice perspective in one of his Nectar of Devotion lectures in 1973 in Vrindavan. In just one very simple but very powerful sentence, he said there's 2 considerations, Smarta Vichar and Goswami Vichar. Vichar means consideration. So the Smarta Vichar means the consideration of the Smarta Brahmins. And this is what Maharaj Prataparudra was accustomed to. We have to follow all these particular rules and things. If you study the history of Christianity, there's a very interesting dilemma in the early days of Christianity. Christ came and threw out all the laws of Judaism and gave some new system. And his initial followers were all Jews. And they had the idea that Christ is a Jew, and we're Jews, and if you want to be a Christian, you have to follow the Jewish law. And so that was going fine for some time until the Gentiles started coming, until they started preaching, until they began to preach. And outside people started coming, and they weren't interested in following the laws of Judaism, and they couldn't hardly do it. And so there was a conflict. And some of the Jewish Christians they were insisting, no, you have to follow all the rules and regulations of Judaism. And some of the leaders of the Gentiles, they were saying, no, we're not interested in that. And finally it was St. Peter who spoke up, and he said that, he told the Jews, he said, we've been trying for so many centuries, we can't follow all the rules. So how is it we're going to expect all the Gentiles to follow them? So in a similar way, within our Krishna conscious movement, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come, and it appears he was born in a Hindu family, and Hindu rules and things, and sometimes we think we have to follow all the Hindu rules and regulations, which we would call smarta vichar. But there's another consideration, which is Goswami vichar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes that. Prema dana vina vyarta daridra jivana dasa kori vetan more deha prema dana. He said that Ami Daridra Jivan, and not that we have Daridra Narayan. Some people speak about when God becomes poor, he appears as some person in a hidden kind of way. He's hiding his identity as Bhagavan. But he says, I'm a Daridra Jivan. In other words, my life, or I'm a Jiva, or my life is very poor. I don't have anything. And what do I want? I want you to give me service. I want to serve you. And the only wages that I request is Krishna Prem. And this is what our Goswamis taught us. And this is Jaiva Dharma. It's open for everyone. Everyone can take part in that. And this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us in Jagannath Puri. We like to call this place the Jagannath Puri University of Braj Prem. It's a place where he came to teach us to do bhajan in a way to help us to enter into Braj. And so my humble suggestion is when we go different places, our purpose is actually not for darshan. We'd like to have darshan. It wouldn't be bad if I could go inside the Jagannath Mandir and get to see Lord Jagannath. That would be very interesting and probably very inspiring for me. But that's not why I'm here. I have a higher aspiration. Higher than just seeing the Lord is Premananda. But even higher than the pleasure of Premananda is Sevananda. We want to render service. And we want to come to these places not just to take pictures and see them and write a blog on our Facebook page or something. I went there and today was really cool and this thing and that thing happened. But we're coming because we want to collect something more than pictures. In this place, what is so special about the Dham? Here in this place, the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally walked. And he cried, and he danced, and he rolled on the ground, and he heard Krishna Katha with his devotees. Here in this place, Raghunath Das Goswami was doing his bhajan. Srup Damodar Goswami was doing his bhajan. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was doing his bhajan. And their bhajan was so extremely powerful. Those feelings of their bhajan permeate the air. They permeate the grass. They permeate the land. They permeate the walls of the place. And we want to go to these different places and contemplate the mood of these great personalities and the bhajan that they did and try to collect a little bit of that and put it in a bag inside of our hearts for the purpose of seva. So these are a few thoughts I wanted to share with you. Why I'm coming on this Dham and what I'd like to try to help to serve the Vaishnavas. We've been staying here for some time in the Dham. I've been in Orissa now for over 25 years. And why am I here? I'm always trying to think about that. What do I want to accomplish? I'm not here just for doing my bhajan. I'm not here just for trying to have darshan or trying to experience the Dham. But I'm here because I want the bliss, the happiness of hearing and chanting with the devotees. And this is why I wanted to come and take association with Vaisheshika Prabhu and all the devotees here. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Vanchakalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
I'd like to introduce to you Shraddha Devi Dasi, who doesn't have any other interest in life other than focusing on helping to make a framework so that everybody else can do their service. She and Mukaravinda Prabhu have worked all year long so we could come back here. Sending one person to the Dham, I always like to say to Nirkula before I'm leaving, going as far as India, it's like putting a man on the moon. It's not so easy getting up and going. But it would be impossible to do all of that and be together, as Madhavananda Prabhu just said, without Mukaravinda and Shraddha Devi Dasi working behind the scenes to put everything together so seamless. It seems seamless, but actually there's so much work that goes on. So she's going to be giving announcements every night to bring us up to awareness of all the ways in which we can keep troop movement going in a harmonious way, and all the other details of our encampment here. So let's welcome Shraddha Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Dham, and congratulations for making this wonderful decision to come to the Dham Yatra, because here we will get the opportunity to perform all the 5 limbs of devotional service. What are the 5 limbs of devotional service? Taking association of devotees. Living in the Dham. Yes. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting Hare Krishna, and deity worship, right? So you're going to get an opportunity to do all that. Before I go into more details, I first wanted to thank Vaisheshika Prabhu for the wonderful lecture, as well as Madhavananda Prabhu for guiding us on how and the mood with which we should be visiting the Dham. So let's give a big round of applause. That was not good enough. Thank you. Okay. So this particular yatra is unique in the sense that this is the 7th year that we are doing this yatra. We started the first one in 2013, and we started with just Mayapur, and then quickly we added Puri the next year. And this year we have one more place that we'll be visiting, and that will be Calcutta, the place of Prabhupada's initial pastimes there. The focus of this yatra is going to be Sankirtan, and we will at every opportunity perform Sankirtan, which is going to give us an opportunity to do book distribution. It's going to give us an opportunity to distribute prasadam, and as well as to take the holy names of the Lord. So that's what we're going to do. So a little bit on the Sankirtan side of it. So we have got books that we're going to distribute. And they are in 4 languages: English, Hindi, Bengali, and Oriya. And we have got prasadam, dum-dum pops, and as Vaisheshika Prabhu says, that no one ever says no to a lollipop. We give to them. Okay. We also have got these beautiful Jagannath stickers to give away. And we have got some bags here in which you can use to put your books inside. And we've got about 20 bags. If you don't have any, you can come and take these bags from us. If you can take out the books here, Ramananda, from inside here. I'd also like to introduce Madhav Govinda Prabhu, if you can just come up here. Madhav Govinda Prabhu has recently moved to India for a short time, but he has been with us in USA. Yeah, please. In USA. And Madhav Govinda Prabhu distributed books every day in USA. And yep. So he's going to lead the book distribution efforts. You will see him every morning at the reception from where you can go and take the bags. You can take the prasadam, the stickers, and the books. And this year the bags have a nice little pouch, Manoranjan Prabhu tells me, where you can store the Lakshmi. And and these are the books. I'm going to leave some of them here so that you can have a look at them after dinner. And we also have got, since for quite a few of you, the language might be a barrier. We don't know the language. So there are 2 ways in which you can address that problem. The first one is that you can do what Bana Bhatta Prabhu did. Like that, I can't repeat that. And then, or you can use the language cards that we have. So we've got language cards in the 4 languages, English, Hindi, not English, we've got Hindi and Bengali and Oriya, which is going to tell you how to ask for a donation when you give them the books. So once you're coming back from the parikrama, after distributing books, you'll meet him and his team again there. At the reception, please remember to return back the bags, the books, and anything else from prasadam that is left, and also hand over the Lakshmi, because he'll be counting all that and making the final offering to Srila Prabhupada there. And also, while you go out on book distribution, we also get carried away sometime. It's such an interesting and addictive thing. So it's okay if I would normally suggest that you try to stay with the group, but if you are more enthusiastic, you like to, branch off into side alleyways and things like that. So just make sure that you know where we are going, right? So that you're not lost over there. Okay. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about how the day will look like for us for the days that we are here at the Dham. Yeah, thank you so much, Madhav Prabhu. And so we'll start with Guru Puja at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. It'll be performed over here in this area. And that'll be followed by Srimad Bhagavatam, class on Srimad Bhagavatam, which will go on till 8 o'clock when we'll have prasadam. And we'll all assemble at about 8:45 in the reception area. We'll start with a little Harinam over there. And at 8:59 a.m. sharp, we will start proceeding to the parikrama place there. We'll be coming back here and we'll have lunch in the dining hall over here at 1 p.m. Then there'll be time in the afternoon for you to rest and do any other sevas that you like. And then at 4 p.m. we will assemble again here for the class in the evening, and which will go on till 6 p.m. when we'll have dinner. And at that time we'll retire for the night. For those of you interested in going on Mangal Aarti, we can go to the Tota Gopinath temple, which is just a walking distance. You get out of the main doorway here of the hotel and you take a right and then go on till you come to the big temple. There'll be a sign there. You take a left, walk a little bit more, and then you'll get to Tota Gopinath. So the Mangal Aarti there happens anywhere between 5 a.m. and 5:15 a.m. in the morning. I would strongly recommend that please go as groups, and especially the locals here advise us that if you are a Mataji, then don't go out alone on your own, right? Have at least one Prabhu with you as you go out there for the Artik. Then I also wanted to talk a little bit about the logistics. So this year, in addition to adding a new place, we also added a new Yatra coordinator. So in addition to Mukharvinda, who's on my team, we also have Bhagavad Seva Prabhu, who's going to stand up. And as I was seeing things happening there over the year, I see that there are certain services that people do all the time. And as I was looking at Anand Murari Prabhu, I was like, oh, while he's still singing. And then I saw him running around doing the same seva. So one more person who has come back again to repeat the seva from the previous years is, you knew him by the name Davesh, but now he has a new name, Divyanam. And where are you, Divyanam Prabhu? And do you remember what we called him 2 years ago? The Khaja King. And he continues to do the service of being the Khaja King. If you'll just stand up, because you will be much in demand, Prabhu. We need to know you. Yeah, so Khaja is the wonderful prasadam from here, from Jagannath Puri. So you get them in 3 denominations. There's a packet for 200 rupees, and then one for 250 and one for 300. And they have 40, 50 and 60 pieces of the Khaja delicacy inside. So he will be taking orders from you for Khaja up until February 21st only, because after they take all the orders from you, then they'll make fresh Khajas, which we'll distribute to you the next day, over the next 2 days there. Okay, thank you so much. And then about the hotel premises here itself, all the rooms have got air conditioners, and it is included as part of the payment that we're making to the hotel. So don't hesitate in switching it on when you need it. There's laundry service as well. It happens if you leave your clothes between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., then you can get it back the same day between 8 and 9 p.m. in the night. And I'm going to instruct the hotel management not to come and knock at your doors after 9 o'clock in the night, because they did that sometimes earlier. They have both washing as well as ironing services there. One thing more is that there is an ocean, beautiful ocean around here, but it can tend to be ferocious. So just make sure that you don't go very deep into the ocean. There were some ISKCON devotees who got carried away into the ocean and never came back. So just be conscious of that. If you haven't made the payments for the yatra, then please make sure that you connect with Mukharvinda Prabhu there. He will be in his room 303, which is behind the reception area, and he's going to be there tonight till 8:30 p.m. 302, sorry, yeah, 302. Till 8:30 p.m. Yes, he's going to be there till 8:30 p.m. So make sure that you can give that. There is water available for you. You can collect water in your bottles over there. Just wanted to mention that there's a little collection area just beneath the water dispenser there, and it is a collection area for the water that spills while you're filling up your bottles. It's not a trash can, so just make sure that you don't put the trash there, because it doesn't look good. Second thing is that while you are coming inside the dining hall to have your prasadam, just make sure that you line up your shoes nicely so that others don't stumble on them. We have the prayers that we have been using, and we'll be distributing the prayers to you every day. So if you have got your copy, just make sure that you return it to Vidyavadhu Devidasi, right, sitting in the back, or to Sadhuchari Prabhu here, over there, like that. And what else? Maybe just a few more. Yeah, and then two things is, one is that we have got these name tags, and Bhagavad Seva Prabhu has got them with this little hanging thing and a name card inside it and a little pouch in which it should go. So this is a way that you'll get to know each other, because associating with devotees is also one of the limbs of devotional service. So we want you to know each other and build nice relationships. And that's why when we were distributing the rooms amongst people and some of you were sharing it, we made sure that you get to share with somebody you don't know much, so that you develop a nice relationship with them. So Bhagavad Seva Prabhu again is going to give them to you tonight. Make sure that you wear them, because that's one of the ways that we know who are the Raja participants. We're also going to have wristbands like this, blue color, and I will distribute those after. I'll be setting up a table here, and I'll give those to you there. Those of you who, I had circulated a form for you to fill for doing voluntary services at the Dham, because it's a huge project, and we cannot just, the three coordinators cannot just do it without your help. And so big round of applause to all those who filled the form. And for those of you who missed that and didn't fill the form, you can always contact me, and we'll be happy to give you some more voluntary services. I'll be sitting here again with the forms that you filled up, and I will explain to you what your services involve over there. And then I think I have covered everything else. Is there anything else you wanted me to cover, Bhagavad Seva Prabhu or Mukharvinda? Yeah? Oh yes, yeah. And tomorrow is Nityanand Trayodashi, so we'll be fasting till noon. So for those of you so there won't be any breakfast. For those of you who are not going to fast because of various reasons, there will be prasadam arranged for you, again in the dining hall area over there. And talking about prasadam, every night we're going to have Jagannath prasadam. And there is a special way in which we honor the Jagannath prasadam. And so I will ask Madhananda Prabhu to talk a little bit about that. He's being the local, knows all the nuances of that. But before that, Gaurangi Mataji came and deposited this nice little 2 bags over here. And what I'm going to tell you is that the Chinese team of devotees, they last year volunteered. They had beautiful little notebooks that they were using, and I said, wow, your books are very beautiful. So they said, we will bring books for you for the yatra. So that's what they have brought. So thank you so much for that. And Madhananda Prabhu.
So I touched on a couple points we call it Smarta Vichar and Goswami Vichar. It's a very big subject and something which each devotee needs to think very deeply about. It's not such a hard and fast thing, but there are certain rules and regulations that we have, that we follow. Within our Krishna conscious movement, we have an initiation ceremony, and there's a fire yagya, and we do achaman, we do it in a certain way. It's not like all rules and regulations are just crazy. So here in Jagannath Puri, they have many rules and regulations about taking Mahaprasad. The thing, rules and regulations, they're very nice if you understand the purpose of them. If we don't understand the purpose of them, then they just become an empty, blind ritual. That's not very pleasant. So each different dham, these three dhams, Vrindavan Dham, Mayapur Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, has a special quality. In Vrindavan Dham, the special thing is the dust, the dhuli of Vrindavan. In Mayapur Dham, the special quality is a kirtan. There's also dust there, and there's also kirtan in Vrindavan, but kirtan in Mayapur is very special. And here in Jagannath Puri, it's known as Anaketra, or the place of Mahaprasad. And there's no other place in the whole world where they have such a culture of Mahaprasad. So I can just tell you a few cultural things that they do when they take Mahaprasad, which we might meditate on, to help us, not just to follow rituals and become a good ritual follower, but to help us to serve Mahaprasad better. There's a story. Once the British, they'd come to Puri, and they wanted to go inside the Jagannath Mandir. And the Pandits said, "We're sorry, you're not allowed inside." And the British said, "Look, we're the British." And they brought a group of soldiers, and they said, "We're going inside the temple." And these little skinny Hare Krishna Pandits, now they're very big, lifting weights and things, but in those days they were little guys. They didn't know what to do. And then all of a sudden, hundreds and hundreds of these Hanuman monkeys, according to the traditional story, appeared in that place, and they started attacking the soldiers. Now the British had been trained how to fight with the French, how to fight with the Russians, how to fight with the Americans, but they'd never been trained how to fight with monkeys. And it was quite brutal. The monkeys were scratching, and the British soldiers freaked out, and they broke rank, and they ran. And so then the Pandits came out, and they said, "Look, do you want to have darshan of Jagannath?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, sit down." And they sat them all down in the street, and they brought plates. And they served them all Jagannath Mahaprasad. Because here in Puri, it's considered that when you take Jagannath Mahaprasad, that's tantamount, that's considered to be the same as directly having darshan of Lord Jagannath. Satyananda Maharaj told me an interesting story some years ago. He was invited by the king of Puri to take Mahaprasad with him in his palace. And so he went there, and the king was there, many senior people, different priests, and some of his family members. And Satyananda Maharaj wanted to be very careful to follow all the rules and regulations nicely. So everybody was sitting down. He took his chadar off and he put it down on the floor. There's no seat. And Satyananda Maharaj sat on the chadar next to the king. And they served out plates and prasad to everyone. And everyone's sitting. And nobody was doing anything. And Satyananda Maharaj was a little unsure. And finally he leaned over to the king. He said, "Maharaj, is everything okay?" And the king of Puri turned back to him and he said, "We're all just waiting for you to get off your asan." Because in Jagannath Puri, when the local people take Mahaprasad, they sit down on the floor. Now, for some people, we could say this is smarta vichar, or just some ritualistic thing, but there's actually a purpose behind it. Because when we take Jagannath Mahaprasad, everyone is equal. It's not that one person's better than another because they're senior. If you sit down to take Jagannath Mahaprasad with Indra, the king of the demigods, he'll sit down on the floor next to you. Because everyone is equal when we come before God. So that's their system, and they're very careful. They never touch Mahaprasad with their left hand. They wash their hands before they take prasadam. They'll never step over Mahaprasad. And after they take Mahaprasad, many different things they do. After they take Mahaprasad, when they go to wash their mouth, the first mouthful of water, they swish it around and they swallow it. Because maybe there's some prasadam inside my mouth still. And then the second mouth, they spit it out. You don't have to do all those things. And when they carry Mahaprasad on the train or something, always put it above them, not below them. They have such a culture, they respect Jagannath Mahaprasad here. So sometimes the devotees, they like to sit down on the floor like that. But our main consideration is not just Smarta Vichar, but Goswami Vichar. We want Krishna Prem, that's why we're taking Jagannath Mahaprasad. But it wasn't the kind of chairman I had in mind. It was more, because of my knees and my hips, I had to sit in a chair. So we have a few chairmen here, and ladies, I think perhaps. Please like that. That's my humble thought.
I also wanted to mention the fan machines and broadcasting areas. You can either switch that mic. There's a button over there. To you how it goes into.
Surmati Taki Hare Jai Aranadil Mrita Pao Krishna Guna Go Preme Dakshita Vaishna Guna Vijay Prasade Sar Prasana Cheta Soya Sriman Nitai Gaura Hari Hari Gaura Haribo. Can we? Is Haribo?